Your order form editor in SuccessWare has been completely updated. We have a lot of capabilities that we've had before, but we also have quite a few new capabilities. One of the capabilities has to do with your logo, the ability to place your logo in any size, shape that you'd like, but also it's anti-alias. It will smooth. You should be able to copy any size logo in and it will reshape and print properly. A picture will print properly. You can put anything that you desire. You'll notice that our logo is sitting here, and if you simply double click on it, you'll notice that you can change the frame in the background. Your transparency you can actually change. So if I go to 60% transparency and click OK, you'll notice that it goes to the back and is more transparent. You can change that, so if you want to put a watermark on your paper, you certainly can. I'll go back up to 100%. You can change the frame color that it's within, the background color that it's within as well. The picture itself, this is where you can actually put your image in to the space provided, and all you have to do is, if you were using our template, you can take and drop your logo right on top of this and it will change it. You have different scaling options to scale to fit. This is scale to fit proportionally and it's centering it within the space provided. I can also, if I click OK, I'm going to go ahead and close this, cancel this. If I want to create a block for my own logo in the size and shape that I desire, I can click this little camera over on the left. I'll select it, and I'm going to make a box. It can be any size that I desire, and then I can drop my logo directly into that. So if I double click on it, I'll have the same options. I can name it, I can put my picture into this space here, and it will lay directly in. It will print properly on the form, and then once you get it to where you'd like it, I'm going to hit cancel. I can drag this around and place it anywhere that I'd like. I can resize it if I choose to, etc. Go ahead and delete that. That's a really nice opportunity for you. You can go ahead, I'll go ahead and change this back to my scaling and save it. Click OK, it'll go back to normal. So you can play with this however you'd like. Now, another thing that you'll notice is that I actually have two forms open. I now can have multiple forms in different tabs. So if I wanted to open up an old existing format that I have, and there's some fields that I want to move over, I can do that. So if I'm sitting here on one of my contracts, I can select a field by clicking on it, and I can do a copy from either the edit menu or Command C. Okay, so I can do copy for that field. I can click back on my form, and if I choose paste, it pastes that variable in wherever I'd like. So now I can move it and place it wherever I choose to. So if it's not on this form, but it happened to be on another form, I can go ahead and move it. And you'll notice the color is different. Now over here we have our different properties. So down in this area I can change my font, size. I'll go ahead and scoot this up. I can change my color. I can scroll down. My transparency, again, I can make these more transparent if I'd like to. So you have a lot more flexibility in what you can do with the fonts and the subcolors and sizes. Now, one thing, some of the older forms, if you have upgraded your software from an older version of SuccessWare, some of your forms have different fields on them for the client's last name and address. They're all separate. We've created a client address and a client name that puts everything together. All of your fields are located up here in this little area. If I click, you'll see all of the fields available. These are fields that are on the order. I'll go down. That's everything from your order items, session information, appointment times, dates, but also your client information. And you'll see there's the first name, the last name, etc. But there's also a full name that's in here that you can use where it's client's name. And if I select it, I'll be able to see it over here. So I've got all of those fields right here available to me. So there's my best contact info, my address. business name, client number. I've got all of these things available to me to pull over. So if I want to, I can just literally pull them over onto the field and they'll add them to my form. So I just drag them on. I'll go ahead and delete them. Those fields are available. You can move them on and place them wherever you want. However, there's a couple things I want to point out about placement. Just like in our old editor, we have headers, we have footers, and we have detail information. Now, this page footer, if you scoot this down, it will move it, but it's not going to move all of your other information. I can select it, move it down to the bottom of the page if I need to. Anything that's in this area below the total line and above the page footer and report footer, that will print on every page. So if you have multiple pages, it will print out on every page. Everything that is above the total line and below the detail in the detail footer, this will print at the end of your detail. The detail is that information in this area which grows. Those are your ordered items, the things that clients are ordering. So if they order one, it may remain on one page. But if they order 15 items and you're going to go into 2 or 3 pages possibly, this area right here, your thank you, your totals, will only print at the end of all of the ordered items. It will not print on every single page. This area, the detail, is going to grow as big as it needs. So if it does need only to be on one page, it will. If it needs to go to a second page, it will do so. The area that is just above that detail will print at the top of each page for that ordered item area. So it'll have that header record for that ordered items. Now everything above the page header and the report header, that's going to print on every single page. So if you have one page, it'll print on the first page. If you have 3, it'll print on every page. So it's like the header that you would have on any report that you print out from pretty much any other application. This gives you flexibility in what you'd like to do. Now, one of the nice new features is I can actually add multi-pages to my order forms now. That gives you a tremendous amount of flexibility. On my wedding contract, I have the capability to move into multi-pages, which is very convenient. This gives you an opportunity to add multiple pages to your invoice if you'd like to. So for wedding contracts, if you do need them to be longer and not just be on and you want that information be on a second page, you'll notice that we have a second page here. So if I click, it's going to bring up the terms of the agreement. Now we're not putting our headers, however we could. You can also put your footers if you want to, if you choose to. It's entirely up to you. But you have all of this information that you can put on. So you can have more than one page. You can have 3 pages if you need to. Any of you that have a duplex type printer, you can go ahead and print on that second page if you want to as well. So you have that capability and you can move to the pages between the two. I can add new pages by going to the page menu and choose new page. That gives me that capability to add different things to my form. The nice thing is that second page works like the first. We have it just where it's just got the terms and the agreements, but you still do have your page headers, your detailed headers. So you can put ordered items if you choose to on that second page. You can put footers, you can put headers, entirely up to you. So you can have a lot of flexibility in the creation and the design of these to make them the way you want them to be. It's very nice. It's very, very flexible. One of the other things that people have been asking for is something that is also included is a zoom feature. You'll notice that I've got mine set to 150%. I can bring it up to 200%. So you can see things more clearly. So like the area for the footers and headers, you can see those. Oops, I'll click off. You can see everything much more clearly. You've got your report header, your page headers. You can see them. I can zoom them all the way up. I can go down to 50% if I wanted to, which is harder to read. The 100% we can see obviously, but a lot of times people like to work with it a little bit bigger than that. So 150% kind of makes it a nice workable size for you. But again, if you need to zoom into an area, you certainly can. You also have your zoom capabilities over here on the left. Text fields, just like the old version, you can go ahead and create a text block and place that in here. You can change the color, the font, the size. Everything's over on the right-hand side. So the orientation for the editor is a little different. However, it's very similar to what you've been working with. We encourage you to call, ask questions. We are more than happy to help. Moving your forms from the old version into the new, there may be some minor changes. And as I stated before, the studio name and the studio address, those things need to be the addresses that we've placed in here. Yours may be separated. Those are on the very old forms for people that have been with us for quite some time. You may need help in just tweaking those a little bit. But some of our clients have decided that we've been working with the software over the past month. Some of our clients that have got a pre-release have been moving their old forms into the new version because they like the way it's structured. But they've been opening their old form in this secondary page, moving fields over, but looking and seeing what they'd like on this one, what they like on the other one, and just tweaking them a little bit. Under the File menu, if I say Open, it's going to give you all of your order formats that you have available. If I click on this one, that's one of the new templates that we have available. Again, you can tweak it. If you don't like the colors, you want to change it. But if you like the style, you can work within what this gives you. But again, we have these available to you to play with, but if you're needing help, this is new and we want to make sure that you get them moved over as quickly as possible, and we are more than happy to help.